to TV, we have a launch day for you on a Sunday. Why do you have a launch day on a Sunday, you'll ask yourself? Because it's Christmas, and it only comes twice a year in crafting. So it is Christmas in July. It's the perfect time to get started. So we've got so many amazing Christmas launches over this 3-week, 4-week period. We're about to put some on a Sunday as well, I know. And this particular collection, you're going to love it because it's going to allow you to do so much. And also wait until you see the price on it. Now, I am not on my own. I feel like this is like our day, you know, Jan. Sundays have become the Joe and Jan show, haven't they, recently? And I like it.
We really should have our own show, Joe, shouldn't we? Yeah.
I think we do. We've got our own day, Jan.
The Double J show.
Absolutely.
The Triple J with our Johnny in the gallery as well. So
how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's a little bit like deja vu, isn't it? Because we were here together. Was it Monday last?
Monday? Did we have Sunday and Monday last week? Oh, who knows?
I don't know. So they all blend into one, honestly. But yeah, it's like deja vu. But honestly, we had a great show last night with the Dreamies, Joe, and I'm looking forward to launching. This is my second launch show actually this month. So we brought you the brush lettering stamps last week.
We did.
And I've got some more stamps for you today. Again, all Christmas related, absolutely beautiful for making those Christmas cards. So I have got a few samples.
Tease us, Jan.
Shall we have a look at a few ideas? We'll just throw them into set there, shall we? Honestly, I got a bit giddy then. So absolutely gorgeous. They're actually, all the stamps are in the shape of a Christmas tree, which is where you get that name from. And each one's got a different saying on it. So we've got lots of different types of stamping for you today. I've tried to do lots of different techniques and different styles of cards. So just starting off with those real pastel, sort of contemporary Christmas looks on that one. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. And then taking it to the other extent here, we've got like an inverted easel card there. So again, just using that tree shape and outlining it so you've got the details on there. Absolutely beautiful with all your inks. We've got loads of those on the show for you. Get the glitter cards out, the shimmer cards, whatever you've got handy. Again, looking at that sort of wardrobe design there. Cut around the stamps, stamp them onto the backgrounds, whatever it is you want to do with them. Lots of different sayings on them. That's the same stamp done in blue there, but again, you know, we've cut that out and actually rigid enough to hold the card together. We've actually taken away the centerpiece of the card there. Absolutely beautiful. Bit more traditional colour there with the season's greeting and some heat embossing. We're going to do a little bit of that in the show. We're going to do a bit of resist technique. I've got some metallic inks on the show. We've got a brand new product from Cosmic Shimmer coming up later. So again, stepper cards, whatever style you like to make, these will lend themselves to working with those designs. And then the last one there, we've got the little teepee.
I love this love one. A teepee card.
Teepee card, there we go. Look, so a really narrow one there. It's just lent itself to actually going together on that one. So yeah, lots of different ideas for you today, different ways of stamping them, sort of, as I say, embossing, resist techniques. We've got the metallic inks on the show. So, and as I say, a brand new Cosmic Shimmer product that we're going to have a play with later on. So looking forward to it, Joe.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely fabulous, Jan. It really is. And what I'd like to do is take you through these 8 brand new stamps that you are getting. It is the first time you've had your opportunity to get your hands on these. Now, what I love is that they're all of a theme. So let's say at Christmas you wanted to make cards that you don't want them to match or be identical, but of a theme. This really allows you to do that, which is brilliant. This one here is Holly Jolly Christmas, and it says, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas, which is awesome. This next one here is the most wonderful tree, and it says it's the most wonderful time of the year. Brilliant size for you. Know what I'm going to say, Jan?
Joe?
No, Jan.
No.
Oh, come on, not that predictable. They're good for a tag, Jan.
Do you know, I've got a tag for you later, Joe.
Yes.
Especially for you.
I'm so excited.
A tag later.
Love that. This is Merry Christmas, this one here. Then you've got 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I mean, I've only got 2 catchphrases. You had a 50-50 chance. You're also going to get Merry Little Christmas in here as well. Have yourself a Merry Little Christmas. This one here as well is 'Tis the Season. And it says, 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. There you go. And you've also got Season's Greetings as well. I don't know why. I'm cock-a-hoop today. I'm in such a great mood. You can get all of those. $29.94, $41.70. Hold up though. Club Inspired discount, $23.95 or $33.36 to get your hands on all of them. If you just want to pick and choose and go for a couple, you're more than welcome to. 2 for £8 or $12. Individually, they are £5 essentially, or $7. So it's definitely worth going for the 2 for, which is awesome. Oh, hold up as well, because Season's Greetings is a CTV exclusive. So if you're going to want to make sure you've got the whole set, the best way to do that is to get them from us right here, right now at Crafters TV. I need to let you know, did I do this one? Did I show you this one? May your days be merry and bright. I don't know, but you're going to get it. So that's in there as well. Something else I've got to tell you about. Oh my word, what a show this is. We have got these on the show for you. Brand new as well, from Cosmic Shimmer. They are the airless misters. No more blockages or build-up, Jan was telling me. She's going to demonstrate these in the show a little later. So you've got purple, you've got water jet. You can go for the rosewood pink. You've also got the option of the pine green, which is this one. What else we've got? Oh, there's some really lovely ones. French lilac, oui, mon ami. You've also got a honeybee here as well. More options for you over on the website. I think there's actually 12 of these on the website. Get over there, click the shop the show button, have a look at all of these, but also everything else that is coming up. Jan loves them. She's going to tell us about them in a second. What I would say is get over there, shop the show, but also get in touch with me as well. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're across on YouTube. Any questions, comments? I'd love to know your ideas on how you're going to use this particular collection. Now, Jan, I know you absolutely love stamping, don't you? And you were telling me before the show just how fabulous these are. I can't believe they're photopolymer as well. For this price, it's amazing value, isn't it?
It's a good little bundle. 8 stamps in total there. And again, really usable for Christmas. And, you know, so as I said, lots of different techniques. You all know that I love my stamping. So when the stamps come out, you know, I'm really glad that I can get my hands on them. But what I wanted to show you today was, although we've got lots of different Christmas sayings on the stamps, different ways that we can use them. Choose your favourite card style, choose your favourite technique, you can use them all with it. You know, you might want to make a set of cards, one with each of the different designs on, bundle them up and sell them if you're selling your products as a like a little gift set with them all in for Christmas. So many different ways. So we're going to start off quite basic, just stamping one of them out so that you can see what they look like. Photopolymer, like Joe said, so as long as you look after those, they will last you a lifetime. So keeping them out of the direct sunlight, making sure you give them a clean afterwards. I'm not the best at cleaning my stamps actually, but they do last. So I've got for this one, I've got 2 different ones going on here. I'm going to stamp out Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It's a slightly different one on the one I prepped at home. So I just wanted to try and get a bit of all the stamps into the show for you, because I don't think I can fit 8 in. We'll try our best, but so I just thought doing it this way you can see 2 different stamps on the go. So I'm going to bring in my stamping platform, my #1 piece of equipment, and I've just taken a piece of plain white card, either stamping card or your Nina cardstock with a smooth surface, and then I've used some of the inks just to create myself a background. So I've used Oasis and Pink Tulip from our water reactive inks there, just to make a background to stamp on top of. And the reason I've done this earlier is because I wanted to make sure it was dry so that we can now stamp on top of it. So I'm just going to use this onto my apparatus, and the reason I like to use this is so that I can overstamp and get that really sort of bold image on there. So what I'm going to do is line the stamp up, so pop that off its carrier sheet there, line it up where I want it to go in the middle of that stamped that inked area. And you can sort of, with this system, you can decide where, you know, do you want it higher to pop some embellishments at the bottom? Do you want it centered? You decide whereabouts you want it to go. And then when you're ready with that, we can literally just pick that up on the base. And then I'm just going to use black ink, and I've just got our finesse one for the time being. Doesn't matter whether it's the alcohol proof or the waterproof one for this, because I'm not going to do anything else to it. If you're colouring, and there are some elements on this particular one to colour, I might do a little bit of colouring actually, seeing as I've picked the alcohol one up, because we've got the couple of little banners in this one that we could colour in. So again, give it a good ink, and then we're going to place that down onto the cardstock, and then I'm going to do it again just to get that really nice black solid image on there over the top of the colours. So again, just transfer that ink, let it have a chance to soak in there. And then we've got that beautiful design, first time. And that was a brand new stamp straight out of the packet. I've not prepped it or anything. That literally was just a brand new one. So I'm going to do the same again, just to make sure. As I say, I like to get a really nice solid black silhouette if I'm just stamping in black ink. So,
is this, if you weren't doing it, is your finesse, are they the ones that give you the sort of best coverage, would you say, if you're just doing regular stamping, if you're not colouring, Jan?
I am going to do a little bit of colouring on this one. These were actually designed with stamping greetings in mind, so you get a really nice crisp finish. Having said that, you could use we've got black in the quick dry range, we've got it in the opaque range if you wanted to heat emboss. We're going to do a little bit of that later on one of the other demos. So it's about choosing the right ink for purpose, Joe. So on this one, I just wanted that outline there. So you can see I've got that lovely black crisp outline, and I'm actually going to pop a couple of bits of colour because we've got those banners in there. I'm going to pop a bit of colour on top of it. So let me just take that one off my sticky background there, and I'm just going to use this separate piece just to colour with. And then I've picked up a couple of my tri-blends, and we've got some of these on the show for you. And where we've got that detail in here, I'm going to go over the top of the inks just to give it a little bit of definition here in those two little banners. So we'll do a little bit of turquoise over where the turquoise ink is.
I hadn't thought about colouring over water reactive inks.
Yep.
I don't know why I thought it would lift the colour for some reason.
Not particularly, as long as it's dry. If your ink's still wet, you may sort of get into difficulties. But I'm not doing a lot of shading on here. I literally just want to take the colour over the top, so it's not going to damage them. And as long as you've used the right stamping ink, so that the actual wording doesn't blur, is the word I'm looking for. I was going to say blend then. You'll be fine, absolutely fine.
Awesome.
So literally just going to take that one all the way to the end on here, and then I'm going to do the same on the bottom one. I've chosen one of the pink alcohol markers, just so that highlights that a little bit. Okay.
Awesome.
And then we've got the pink here, the pink blend, and I'm going to go with the darker shade there, just into this bottom section here.
Excellent. Loads of you tuning in saying hello already today. Sonia Bowling says, good morning from Oklahoma. Diella is in Somerset. Oh, I bet it's lovely in Somerset at the moment with good weather. Diane's in Pennsylvania. Karen's in East Tennessee. Georgianne is here in Clearwater as well. Annette saying hi, Jan and Joe. Can't wait for a great show. Jennifer says these stamps just get you singing. They do, as you've seen. Rosalind says these stamps would be a great background on a card as well. I think it's a great idea. And Aisha saying, good Sunday morning, everyone. So great to have the Queen of Mixed Media, Jan, back on with us today.
I'm
very excited about these new misters we've got on the show
honestly,
today, Jan, aren't you?
Anything like that gets me excited, Joe. I love a new product as best of anybody, but when it's got ink or something in it, or colouring medium in it, honestly. And the way that they've been designed now, the airless factor on those misters, and I know you'll all appreciate this because I've done it myself. I've had so many that I've bought that are ink misters, ink sprays, whatever you want to refer to them as, and you use them 2 or 3 times and then the nozzle blocks. Right. And you spend longer trying to clean the nozzle than you do actually using them on your projects. But now we've actually formulated these, well, the guys at Cosmic Shimmer have actually formulated these so that they don't block. So the airless factor means that there's no air trapped in there, which allows no bubbles. So when you're actually spraying them, there's no bubbles in them, and then there's no blocking. And I've used some of these to have a play with at home, and I've not had any trouble. I've gone back to them time after time, and they just spray out. And we'll have a look at those later on in the show. So I've literally just sort of coloured those just to highlight. There is actually some block lettering on the rest of it. If you wanted to add a bit of colour in there, you could as well. Okay. And then the one that I did at home was one of the other stamps. So this one just says Merry Christmas on here. We've got more of a black silhouette outline going on there. So we could use either of these. We could actually pop this one over the top and use the Merry Little Christmas, or I've actually got this one that we could use. Any preference, guys? Which one do you like?
I like them both, Jan. How about you in the gallery? Charlotte likes the one you've just coloured.
Yeah? Shall we pop that one over the top then,
Charlotte gets.
Okie doke. So we'll just pop a little bit of double side. And I'm going to keep this one fairly simple because I wanted to start out there with just basic stamping. Now that stamping could have been with a different colour ink. You know, if you've got your quick dry inks, you can actually colour them. I thought I'd gone deaf then.
Why?
It just went really quiet.
Oh.
Have you just turned the...
I was just practicing for 8 p.m. tonight. I've just turned my fan off over here.
Yeah, it was really, I didn't realise it was as loud as that. All of a sudden it just went really quiet. I thought, oh, what's happened? Yeah. There we go. And then I've just made a background matte and layer with some of the non-shed glitter cards. So we'll pop that one onto the card base. And then again, if you want to add some foam tape to lift that section, you can. If you want to just pop it flat, if you're posting things out, I'm always conscious that we tend to keep things a little bit flatter so that they'll go through the mail. So just a tiny border around there, just to pop that one on the back. And then I'm going to use some wet glue on the back of this one, just so that it soaks into my glitter card. So just the tacky glue there, perfect for the job. See if it's playing. It wasn't playing last night. Is it playing? Oh, it's still not happy, look. In fact, I remember I swapped it last night for a different one, didn't I? Yeah, it didn't want to play last night, Joe. It was, I don't use the large container very often. I normally use it in my little applicator. So I think it had just got fed up that I hadn't used it for a while.
It's probably gotten off to watch the match later.
It might have, you never know. What match would that be?
Oh, have you heard, Jan?
Have I not heard? No.
You've not heard? It's coming home, apparently.
Is it?
Yeah, I know a lot of you that are joining us today. We are very, very giddy because it is the final of the Euros today.
Big event.
First time in 55 years that the men's football team have got to the final of a major championship of any competition, really. I'm saying the men's team because everyone says England haven't got to the finals, whereas actually the women's team have managed to get to the finals of the Euros twice in fairly recent years. So since the men got to the finals, the women are obviously doing much better than the men in the football or soccer stakes, it seems.
And then whatever you've got lying around in your stash, you know, I've just chosen to cut some snowflakes out. So whatever you've got there, we've all got embellishments. On everyday cards, we tend to use the butterflies and the flowers. The snowflakes come out for the cards at Christmas time. So literally, I'm just going to pop one of those at the top, up there. So with that tacky glue at the top, just to hold that for a second. And then I've just cut a slightly smaller one to go on this bottom edge to complement that one at the bottom. And then I've got a couple of little gems just to finish off and tone in with those to go on those opposite corners. And again, starting off quite simple, just showing those stamps for the best that they are there. And you can see we've got that design just stamped out. And if I hold you that one up to the camera there, you can see. Absolutely. So that inked background, just bringing those colour tones in. Bit of a contemporary colour scheme. I quite like that for Christmas, Joe. I do like the traditional sort of red, gold and green, but I do like the contemporary colours as well for Christmas. So you've got the beauty of anything, any colour scheme that you fancy with these. Yeah,
you do. And I think the great thing is, you know, Jan, that Christmas is that one time where we have to make a lot of cards. You know, whether you're doing that for yourself, for charity, whether you're making them to sell, and I think if you've got something in your crafty arsenal that's going to allow you to make a lot of cards very quickly. Because let's face it, right? You know, the people where we maybe like. I don't know if it's the same for you, Jan. What I'm guessing is, you know, immediate family, and there's 5 or 6 cards that you make where you probably take a lot of time and a lot of effort over them. You really, really do. But I guess because you're a crafter, everyone expects a handmade card.
Yeah, and
so you need something you're going to make a load quickly.
You do want something that's nice and quick. And these, you know, literally just stamped out in a colour, you're still going to get a terrific result. You know, I'm going to show you lots of different techniques today because we've got the time to do that here in the studio. But if you just literally want to stamp those out on a coloured background with some black ink, you're going to get a terrific result with them.
Amazing, you really, really will. Let me take you through then what you're getting again in the collection. Remember as well, you've got a CTV exclusive in here, which is Season's Greetings. It's the only way you're going to get the whole collection is to get them from us here at Crafters TV. So you've got Holly Jolly Christmas, which is this one here. I love the fact there's such a variation on the fonts as well in here. So you really have got a different feel. I think for a super simple one, you could just heat emboss these and that's it. You're done really, aren't you? Merry and Bright is this one. You're also going to receive this one here, exactly, which is most wonderful. It's the most wonderful time of the year. We then have Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, it says down there too. This one is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, is that one there. This one is Merry Little Christmas, and you can see, have yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Then we have 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, fa la 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 la. And you've also got Season's Greetings in there as well. And remember, this one, Season's Greetings, is the only place you'll get it is with us here at Crafters Companion directly and Crafters TV. I need to let you know, shut the glittery back door, because almost a quarter of the stock of these brand new stamps has gone. It is very, very busy. It's been sellout central here recently at Crafters TV. The Dreamies, 6 sellouts in the show. What did you have left for your tap dancing at the end, Jan?
We didn't have a lot left, no.
There you are. Learn by, I mean, if that's anything to go by, we're going to have a very, very busy day and show. Now, I want to go through the water reactive ink pads. We've just managed to have a bit of a restock on our ink pads, which is awesome, because what it means is, you know how it goes, don't you? You know when you go to the sale at like Clark's or any shoe shop, Jan? You can never get a 7 or 8 or a 9, can you? Because they're all gone. All you can get is like a size 4 or a size 13.
Yep,
no one needs them.
Yep.
And it's the same with ink pads. When they sell out, it's all the popular ones that go, right? So now what we've been able to do is get all the popular ones back in stock. So we've put together a specific Christmas collection with those, some of your absolute favourites. You've got Midnight, you've got Pine Tree. This one here is Spring Meadow. We also have Grasshopper in there, Lemon Tonic, and that Chinese red. So you get all of those for you. It's 6 in the collection, less than £20, just $26.69 for platinum members in the UK. Honeybee is this one, just here, I believe so, yes. This one here, the Honeybee Airless Mister, a quarter gone already. We're only 22 minutes into the show. It's a brand new stock. It's a brand new product. Jan is going to show us how we use those in a little while. Lots of you are saying hello and chatting away. Aisha's welcome back, Joe. Hope you enjoyed your time off. It looks you look very sun-kissed. It was very eventful. Julie says, I ordered these stamps. Looking forward to receiving them. Linda says as well, Jan, thank you for all your ideas and techniques. I've been stamping for years, but I'm new with CC and really new with mixed media. You've helped me take my cards to the next level. Pam says, yes, Joe, the last time was when I got married, 1966. You didn't get married on the day of the World Cup final, did you, Pam? That would be interesting. When England won the World Cup, Johnny might know this, was it at Wembley? It was at Wembley. And the Queen gave the trophy. There you are. It's got to be a good omen, right? Surely. Any questions or comments, get them in. Do remember, you can go for the large collection. What you can also do is get any 2 of those brand new stamps for £8 or $12. And you can get your comments by discount off of that as well. Right, what's next, Jan?
All right, we're going to move on to one of the next stamps. And I love this one. I've always liked this particular poem. And we've actually got the first line of that in It Was the Night Before Christmas. And then it goes on all through the house, and I love it, actually love it. I need to teach that one to my little grandson when he's old enough. So yeah, we're going to do this one, and we're going to do a similar technique. We're going to use an ink background again, but I'm going to heat emboss over the top of this one. So I've got my stamp at the ready. Nice bold lettering in this one, so it's ideal for heat embossing because you've got a nice area for that ink to stick to, and then for subsequently your heat embossing powder to stick to as well. So I'm just going to grab all the bits and pieces. We need the anti-static bag, which is there. I'm going to need some sticky ink.
What does an anti-static bag do, Jam?
It's just to get rid of any kind of fingerprints or anything like that.
Right.
We have natural oils in our skin, and I mean, I've just put some hand cream on before the show. So if you've been handling your cardstock, you're just going to get, you'll not see them, but there'll be sort of like little fingerprints all over it. Now, embossing powder is very, very fine, and it will stick to absolutely anything. Anything that's got any kind of moisture in it, it will stick to. So just to avoid getting that where you don't want it, the anti-static bag has just got a powder in it to actually get rid of any static that's on your project. So what I've done earlier is, again, I've been playing with the inks just to make a background. And this one, instead of taking it with my sponge applicator like we did on that first one, this is actually the Midnight, and I use the opaque pigment ink, but you could use the water reactive one as well. And this is actually literally just popping it down onto your craft mat or your glass mat, whatever it is, and I like to make my backgrounds like this. Add a little bit of water, because they're all aimed to work with water, and then use your cardstock to literally mop it back up off the mat. Okay? And just keep going. You can always add more ink. And I've just done this until I've got the depth of colour that I wanted. Keep drying it in between layers and then add some more until you get that depth of colour. So you can see the beginnings of it there. And each time you dry it, that you can then work on top of it with the opaque ones as well. And the reason again that I've done it at home is I needed this to be perfectly dry. If for any reason I'd done this now and there was a slightly damp bit, again, even with the anti-static pad, that heat embossing powder is going to want to stick to it. So let me just get rid of that off the surface there, and we'll go to that one that I've prepped ready. And we're going to over stamp with the sticky ink this time, and then add some silver embossing powder to it. So we'll bring the stamping platform back in, pop that one on there, and then literally I want to just give it all a really good, even though it's dry, I've been handling it now, I've had my sort of fingers on it, so I just want to give it a really good, and this has got like a chalky substance in it. I don't know exactly what it is. If you haven't got one at home, you can use something like talcum powder or cornstarch, something like that, and just wipe it all over your card. You don't want to leave much of a residue on there, but you literally want to make sure that all those areas have got rid of any static, and it will help. It's not so bad if you're using a lighter coloured embossing powder,
right,
but if you were going to use such as a black embossing powder, it's really easy to get specks of it all over the place. You don't realise it's there until you heat it, and then you see all these little specks where you don't actually want them. So again, I'm going to line this one up and position it where I want it on top of my my base there. Try not to touch the cardstock any more than you have to. So I'm just sort of eyeballing either side here and the top and bottom, and then once you're happy with that, again, pick it up. If you haven't got the magnetic base for your stamping platform, then it will still work with your ordinary stamping platforms or whatever it is you've chosen to use. And then I'm actually going to use our watermark ink this time. Mine's not perfectly clean.
Right. I think
it's
that's
well
fairly
loved.
clean.
It's well loved. It's used a lot. And I'm literally going to ink this up with that clear ink. So there's no pigment in this at all. It is just sticky, and it's designed to attract that embossing powder. And again, I'm going to give 2 coats of it just to make sure that I've got every single piece of it. So a bit of pressure on there just to transfer that ink, and you'll not see an awful lot of this until I put the actual embossing powder over the top. But I'm going to do it a second time just as an insurance policy to make sure that I've actually got all those bits and made contact with the background.
A lot of people asking about where those snowflakes were from that first card, Jan.
They were from one of the earlier signature collections.
Was it the glittering snowflakes?
It could have been glittering snowflakes. It could have been even earlier than that, I think.
Okay.
I've got a couple in my my box that I use. As I say, I've got a Christmas box that I just bring out, and there's some of them, as I say, just stay in there just to make up those embellishments. So again, make sure that's pressed on there, and then we're actually going to take that off here, and I'll use the back of this card here. We're just going to pop some silver fine detail embossing powder over the top. So once it looks quite grey when it comes out of the tub, and then when we tip that off here, you'll see that image emerge on your piece of cardstock. So don't tap too hard, otherwise you'll get rid of all the embossing powder, but you do want to get rid of any sort of stray pieces. If you do have any bits sort of lying around, you can just take a dry brush to them, but just make sure there's no little bits lying around where you don't want it. And then I'm just going to pop that back in my pot so that we don't have any accidents. So you want to use a little tiny bit when you're using embossing powder. It lasts a very long time. And then we've got the heat tool at the ready. Here we go, especially for our producer Johnny. We had to do some
noises
heat.
for you, Jan.
You're going to do the noises?
Yeah.
Is that? I know, it came right up to the screen to see if you could hear it. So top tip, the best tip I can give you when heat embossing is to actually actually get it up to temperature. You can't see what I can see. All I can see is Joe over there with his microphone making the heat tool noise.
That's what noise it should be making.
So yeah, up to temperature before you start, because heat will warp your cardstock. So the less heat you have on it, the better. So making sure that your heat tool's up to temperature, and then literally aim it at one section. We're going for this bottom corner here, and you'll see this go from grey to that lovely silver, shiny silver colour. So once the powders start to turn, you see it going there right at the bottom. Okay, move along. You don't want to sort of hover on it any longer than necessary. Once it's melted, it's done. And I'm just going to chase that detail around.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Turn it round so that I don't burn my thumb. And I've heated this from the top. You can heat it from
underneath. Shall I turn my fan back on and stand in front of it so we get the effect of the noise it should be making?
Shall I hold it here? Can you hear it now?
Yeah, we can hear it now.
There you go, look. As I say, people that don't think it's on, I challenge you to come and put your hand underneath it. And then just leave it for a couple of seconds, because it will be sort of tacky to touch initially. But then once it's dried off, I tend to just give it a buff then with my cloth, just to get rid of any excess of the anti-static pad that's on there. So where your card, if your card does warp a little bit, just pop it back into shape. You can actually manipulate the cardstock and get it back into shape. And if I've done heat embossing, I always use something quite strong. So possibly the double-sided tape pen, red line tape, ordinary double-sided tape, to make sure that it keeps it nice and flat. So as I say, once it's dry, you can actually just pop over the top of it to get rid of any residue there. And you've got that lovely shimmer. If I tilt that in the light now, look how that catches.
Oh, you can really see that, can't you?
That light, absolutely beautiful. So I've done exactly the same again at home, and just mounted it onto some mirror card, just to sort of, that's going to catch the light as well as the embossing powder there. And popped a couple of little gems on. So we're in exactly the same bit as we got there. 'Twas the night before Christmas. And then again, I've kept the card blank fairly simple. So I've just grabbed some pieces of
this paper's
paper.
Gorgeous.
This is from...
Is it from the Year of Crafts?
Yes, the 8x8 paper pad.
Yes, is it called Everyday...
Everyday, not celebrations, everyday, all occasions,
all
something
occasions,
like that, yeah?
I think it is indeed, yes.
And I wanted something with the stars on it, and I wanted something that was blue. And the fact that it's a little bit darker allows that focal point to show at the front. So I've actually made my card to fit around the topper, basically. So it's an unusual size. We're actually looking at 5 3/4 by 6 3/4. All right, but I wanted it to work around the topper. And again, I've used the same piece to go on the front. So I just pop some double-sided tape on there. And all I've done is scored it in half to make my card blank. I scored it in half again to fold that front piece back. So we're going to pop that one on the front there. Stick that one down, and then I'm just going to pop this one here to actually open on the front of the card.
Beautiful.
Like so I just want to put tape on this half of this one rather than all the way across. And again, keeping the card design fairly simple, mainly because if you guys are wanting to batch make, you don't need a complicated card design. You want something that you can actually put together quite quickly. And also, you want those stamps to actually be the focal point. So I've kept the cards fairly straightforward. And again, you've got that lovely embossed design on the front of there. I did have a bit of ribbon that I get too giddy. I was supposed to be putting a little bit of ribbon across the top there. Let me just add that on, and I'll snip the edges off rather than wrap it round. I get that giddy about actually wanting to put the card together that I forgot all about it. So what we'll do is we'll pop that. It was going to go across the corner like that. Okay. And then what I'll do is just tack those edges down, and then we'll snip the surplus bit off. So I would actually recommend popping this right around your card, and then you don't have any raw edges on the ribbon. But because I got a bit giddy and stuck it down, we'll improvise. So we're literally just going to snip that in line with the topper there, and the same at that side, and you get the idea there. Okay, so sorry about that, Charlotte. She was just getting ready, and I whipped the card away there, didn't I? So again,
awesome.
Nice stamped image I just tip it there, you can see that lovely heat embossing on it. If you're not into making your own backgrounds, you can stamp and emboss over your pattern papers straight from a pad. I could have stamped straight onto this one. Again, pop that anti-static pad on it to get rid of any static, and then stamp and emboss over it. So however you want to do it. So 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
It was
There
indeed.
we go.
Loads of love for this. Alan saying, OMG, I love this card, Jan. Beverly loving the blues in here. Lynn saying she's ordered these yesterday. Can't wait for them to arrive. It is your first opportunity to get your hands on them. It's a launch day. It means that it's a product you have not seen before here on Crafters TV. And these are going to be perfect for all of that Christmas crafting. I think if you want something that's going to be very quick and easy to put together, but give you something that looks so amazing, these are going to be that. Let me run you back through. The other thing I like about these as well, that you can create a theme of cards without having to give someone the identical card. There's nothing worse, is there, Jan, when you get a card from a friend, right, and then you go around to another friend's and they've got the same card and you think, did Barry send you that? And why? Well, because I got exactly the same card. Whereas with these, what you could do, you could send them all to your friends so that they would know when they went round that it was you that had sent it, but it's not the same. It's like of a theme.
You could either use a different stamp or just do them in different colours.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you could do that design that I'd just done, but just changing the background to green or to red or whatever, change your embossing powder to gold. It's going to look very different, even though it's the same design in the making, yeah.
Absolutely, it is. Right, let me run you back through these then. So you've got Holly Jolly Christmas, which is this one just here. You've also got Most Wonderful Time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. You're going to receive Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. This one here is your 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. You're also going to get have yourself a merry little Christmas. Then you've got 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly. Fa la 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 la. You get that one. You also get Season's Greetings. Now this is a Crafters TV exclusive. You will not be able to get this one anywhere else other than directly with us here at Crafters Companion. And you've also got May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. Now, it's very, very busy on the website for these. I know a lot of you got these in your basket, but don't want to miss out on any of Jan's fabulous demonstrations. Rightly so, I say. Let me give you an opportunity to check out. Whilst you do that, here's all the details on US delivery, but also Club Inspire. Take a look.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Absolutely, make sure you get yourself joined up because you get the biggest discounts that way, which is absolutely awesome. Now, we weren't going to go to these until a little bit later in the show, but my giddy on, it is so busy for these over on the website that we're going to do them a little bit sooner. Is the airless misters. I'm going to run you through the colours that we've got available for you in this show. Every single one of these is a quarter gone, so you're going to need to be quick for them. So this one here is the Honey Bee. We've also got Purple Spell. Is it called Purple Spell, or have I made that up? No, it is called Purple Spell. We've got Water Jet, which is that one just there. Jan's all right over there, don't worry. We've also got Rosewood Pink, which is this one just here. Then you have this one, which is I love this one, it's the Pine Green, which is really great. This is a good indication of the true colour on the front of the bottle there. And then finally, not any old lilac, the French lilac, oui. So go for those, £5 each, £8.99, £4, £7.19 as Club Inspire Platinum members. And you were saying these are sort of ingenious idea really, Jan, aren't they?
It is, it's sort of taking a spray ink onto the next level. I've had lots of problems. I've had spray inks from lots of different companies, and I've always had issues with the nozzle on them clogging up. And you spend an age either trying to poke something in it, rinsing it under the tap, whatever, blowing through it, and you spend more time actually doing that than you do playing with them. Whereas these, there is no air in the canister at all, so it means that it doesn't bubble. So sometimes when you spray it, you used to get big bubbles in it, and also they're guaranteed not to clog up, which is brilliant. So what I'm going to do first of all is just show you the different colours. I know a lot of you have been buying these already, but if you're still thinking about them, we're going to have a look at the colours that we've got on the show for you. So the first one is Purple Spell, and again, the directions just tell you to give them a shake before you use them. And then, like all misters, if you do this from a distance, you will get a fine spray. If you go closer to your cardstock, you'll get a more sort of in-depth colour. So top tip, make sure that the nozzle is facing your cardstock. Okay. How does Jan know this?
Don't want to squirt yourself in the face, do you, Jan?
You don't want to cover yourself. As much as I'd love to look it like Purple Spell would match my top today, it's not really a good look. So yeah, make sure you can find the nozzle in the actual top of here and just pop that to your paper. So this is just stamping card, and I'm literally just going to pump it a couple of times because I've not used this one, and you've got that lovely fine mist on there. Okay, so again, you can actually, the more you go, the deeper it will go. So it just depends what kind of look you're after. So that one was Purple Spell, and then we've also got French Lilac on there as well. So again, give it a shake, check where your nozzle is, and again, just that little bit of, and you can see this one's got more of a heather look to it. So I think this is more sort of a crafter's companion purple. This one's more of like a heathery sort of purple. Okay, and then I've actually got this, Jan's favourite, it had to be, didn't it? And all I've done is I've just masked my glass mat up underneath so that I don't get this everywhere, because I don't want it all over the demos later on in the show. So the favourite one has to be the Rosewood Pink, proper antique pink. We're going to use that one in a demo later on. And then we've got the tealy one, the turquoisey one, which is Water Jet. So great names on them as well. So again, just pop this one a bit further over so that you can see. So again, lovely, rich colour tones.
That's my favourite one, Jan.
Absolutely beautiful.
How far back can we mist these from? Can you get like a real light mist if you want to?
You can. If you just be aware that it's because it's in a mister, it's going to go. So I've actually got some going on under my my mat here. But if you don't want them as deep, you can literally just take the excess off there, and you'll actually get sort of a more subdued effect.
Wonderful for backgrounds then.
Absolutely, we're going to do that, as I say, on one of the demos. So again, if you don't like all that depth of colour, I've just got a damp baby wipe here. You can just take some of this off. And what's a great thing to do, and I have to do this for you one of these days, another technique for you. If you mop all this up with your baby wipe in different places, so that you're not contaminating too many of the colours. So what I'm doing is looking for a piece that's not so well used. I'm covered in ink already, look. And just mop it up. And then if you open these out and leave these to dry, you can actually use these in your card making.
Someone's going to be wondering, if you've got a baby at home and they're drying on the radiator, someone's going to be thinking, what on earth have you been feeding that child?
But yeah, seriously, you can actually use these when they're dry then as elements in your crafting. So don't throw it all away. So let's just do those last two covers. We've got the Pine pine green, okay? So again, like Joe says, the higher up you come, the finer the spray, but because it's hitting the paper from a distance, it's going to go a wee bit further. So I don't want to go too far. I'm trying not to get everything covered in, but this is a proper pine green. This perfect for your Christmas cards on that one. And then the last one, this would be great with the new Be Beautiful collection, which I've got on the show later on.
This is your favourite one, this one?
The honeybee, yep. So again, just make sure you get that nozzle facing the right way. And look at that, proper honey colour on there. Absolutely gorgeous. The depth of the pigment in them is fantastic. And again, if we just use a little bit of spare on here, as say, if you don't want the depth of the colour, you can actually take some of it off. Okay. And even where it's overlapping, I'm getting secondary colours with them. I've not really had much time to play with these, but absolutely good. You know, the ink in them is really good quality. So just to show you the colours there, but also what I wanted to show you, let me just pop that to dry.
So are these water-based, these, Jan?
Yes, they are,
so
yes.
Could we then, in that case, do things like salt techniques? Could we spritz these into shaving foam? Do all of those
cling
kind
wrap,
of things
all of that kind of thing.
Awesome.
Absolutely, Joe, yep. The other thing that you can
imagine
do,
the colour you could get on your shaving foam with spritzes of all of those in there.
The other thing that you can do with them, and I've got covered, as much as I tried not to, I'm still covered in ink. I've actually just put a little bit of cardstock on my stamping platform here, and I've just used that same stamp that we were using before. But what I'm going to do is we'll go with that pine green, because that was a real nice depth of colour. I'm going to go straight onto my craft mat this time, my glass mat, and just pop a bit of the colour onto the mat, and then take my stamp and stamp into it. Okay, so this is where you sort of start verging on your mixed media again, mixing it in together. Now you're going to get a watercolour effect with this. I'm just going to cover that up so it doesn't get all over my stamping platform. It's not going to be a crisp image, but I quite like this. You get that sort of watercolour sort of tinge to it, where it's picked up the ink, and then you get in that. I've got a little bit mist in the middle, but we can actually go back in. It depends whether I picked up enough ink off the glass mat. But again, you know, you can pick some more up. In fact, what we could do, and this is going rogue now, I love this. Let's pop a different colour in. So we'll go with that lovely tealish shade, and we'll see what happens. I've not practiced this at all. So again, just a bit of that lovely blue on there. And let's go back in with the stamp. Because they are water-based, they literally just come, they're not even stained.
Could we even like watercolour with these, Jan?
Yep, you could use them as a paint, yep. Absolutely. Once they're on there, what I haven't tried, and I will do in a second, is whether you can do the water lift technique with them.
Right.
So you know where we splatter them with water and it brings some back out. So I just want to cover this up so that I don't get my stamping platform in the ink. But if we go back over now with this one, I'm hoping to pick up some of the areas that we missed with the green with that lovely teal shade. And you're going to get like a two-tone effect on there. So as I say, it's not a crisp image like you would do if you were stamping with a stamping ink. The other thing, and I haven't actually got one with me, but the other thing you can do is spritz them through your stencils. So all those stencil shows that we've done together where we've been adding mixed media to them, you can mix these. So if you've bought the texture paste or anything like that, the structure paste, you can use these to colour them so that when you put the structure paste through your stencils, they've got a colour. Like Joe says, you can use them as a watercolour paint to colour in. So many different things that you can do with them. I'd not thought about the shaving foam, Joe. I'm going to have to try that one when I get home, actually popping them through the shaving foam there. And again, you know, mixing the colours as well. You know, you've got a blue in there, you've got that lovely rich yellow. Let's just have a look and see what kind of... So I'm just going to put a little bit of that honeybee out.
Jan's in a happy place now, aren't you,
I
Jan?
am. You've lost me now.
Yeah.
You've lost me. And a bit of the blue. Oh, I think that was the pine green. But we'll still get the same idea. And then I just want to grab a paintbrush. And I'll use my drinking water. I'll just remember not to go back and drink it afterwards. But when we pop them together, look how that's changed.
Oh, nice.
You've got a proper grass green there now.
Lovely.
Yeah? So again, you know, you've got totally different shades going on. So have a play with them. You know, you've got the pink and the blue. Have a look at what kind of purple it makes. Don't be afraid to have a play around with them and see what they do. Just pop an afternoon aside and think, right, this is going to be my play afternoon.
You need a whole day, Jan, I reckon.
And then just before we move on, I just want to see, this is actually pretty much dry now, but I just want to see whether it will lift. As I say, I've only had them over the weekend, so I've not had a lot of time to play with them myself. And I just want a piece of absorbent paper. Oh, it is. I'm excited now. I can actually see it. I don't know whether we can get in here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Get our Charlotte in. Look, can you see how it's moving, the ink? So it's actually pushing the ink to one side, and you're going to get those lovely little splodges in there as well. So
nice.
Yeah, if we just hurry that process up a little bit, and actually, look. Oh,
awesome.
Oh my goodness. I need these in my life. I've got to give these back I might have to smuggle these out.
Well, you'll need to be
I've
quick.
got to hand them in tonight.
Fast.
They won't let me keep them, so I'm like, I might have to smuggle them out. Yeah.
We'll have to forget.
Bleaches it out just the same. Oh, that's just skimming the surface, honestly. There are so many, and as I say, that's the colour palette that we've got in there, those 6 colours. So you've pretty much got a bit of everything in there, and then don't forget, try having a go at mixing them and see what you get with those secondary shades. Fabulous.
How fantastic.
Love it.
Let me run you back through the colours that you're going to get in here, then I'll just go through them for you. So you've got French Lilac, which is this one just here. I think it's fair to say these give you a pretty true colour on the bottle of what you're actually going to receive. We've also then got as well the Pine Green for you. Then you've got the Rosewood Pink. This one here is the Honey Bee. Nothing to do with Honey G. You've also then got Water Jet here for you as well. And finally, Purple Spell, which is that one. Whoa, it is busy on these. A third almost of all of these now sold out and gone. Please be quick for them. Platinum members, £4 or $7.19 is what you have got these for. Very busy still on the brand new stamp launch as well. I will quickly recap what you're getting in there just in case you are just joining us. And you've got 8 brand new stamps in here. I can't believe as well, these are photopolymer at this price. That is amazing value. You've got Oh by golly, have a jolly holly Christmas. This one here says it's the most wonderful time of the year. Then you have Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. It is the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. This one is a Crafters TV, Crafters Companion exclusive. You can only get that direct with us here at Crafters TV. That's Season's Greetings. And you've got May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. $23.95, $33.36 to get your hands on those. Third of those have gone. Must remind you again about the water reactive ink pads. We have just had a restock on a lot of our ink pads, and what that means is some of your all-time favourite colours are back in stock, so we're able to bring them back to you in collections for the first time in a while. This is a Christmas collection you're looking at. What you've got here is Midnight. You've also got Pine Tree. This one here is the Spring Meadow. You've got Grasshopper, Lemon Tonic, and you've also got the Chinese Red in there as well. 1916 or 2669 for Club Inspire Platinum members. Make sure you snap those up. Right, still loads to come for you. Joanne says, sounds like Jan is going to need to get frisked before she leaves today. She's going to.
Cut me down.
I mean, we'll all be doing. We might have something else on our mind at that point, but you never know. Someone get Jan a clean glass of water, please. Is what someone says. There's no one here, I'm afraid.
I know.
John will be here soon, though. So there you go. Something to look forward to. Elizabeth says, "Okay, sold." Wanda's gone for these. She says, "I've ordered mine and can't wait to get them." So looking forward to these misters. So yeah, do get yours. Don't miss out on them. A third of all the stock of the misters is gone. A third of the stamps also gone now as well. Right, still over an hour of creativity left, which is awesome. What we got for us next, Jan?
Oh, we're going to move on, and I will apologise now because I'm covered in ink. I've got all different coloured fingers going on now, so my apologies. I was trying to stay clean. So what we're going to do now then, we're going to go on to a resist technique. So I'm going to do the stamping again, but this time we're going to stamp with a white embossing powder, and then we're going to add our ink over the top of it. So I've chosen May Your Days Be Merry and Bright, and this is quite a narrow one. So I've gone for I'm going to do a tall skinny card. I don't normally do the skinny ones. I tend to go more square. So I thought with this actually being a narrow stamp, it just lends itself there to being on that sort of narrower piece. So what we're going to do then, first of all, we're going to stamp it out. So I need my stamping kit again. I want my anti-static pad. I'm going to use the translucent ink, and then this time I'm going to use white embossing powder. Ooh. So again, the initial part, there won't be an awful lot for you guys to see, but it comes to life then when you add the inks over the top. We're going to go to some water reactive ink and add that over the top. So again, I'm just going to centre that roughly, sort of look at either side and the gap top and bottom there. In fact, I'm going to take it a little bit higher because, remind me guys, I've got some ribbon to go at the bottom.
You've got ribbon to go at the bottom,
I've got
Jan,
ribbon to go at the bottom. Yeah, I got giddy last time and stuck it all together. Okay, so we'll just leave a little gap at the bottom there. And once you're happy with that, pick it up with your platform, and then the first thing I need to do is just give this a little wipe down. And again, as I say, it's like a chalky substance in here. Just all over that card.
I forgot to ask you, Jan.
Yeah?
Did Carol have a sell-out bell with her last night?
She didn't, no.
Oh,
she didn't.
Fuming.
She should have. She should have. My goodness, they were going right, left and centre last night.
Sometimes she used to forget it at Create and Craft, and I used to go and find anything for her from backstage.
Yeah?
I once got her a pan and a wooden spoon instead. I'd have been fuming if I'd have here last night and she'd have forgotten it.
Yeah, she got no bell. She should have had it with her, shouldn't she? Right, so we've got all my bits and pieces ready. So what we're going to do then is we're going to bring the stamp in again with that, what should be a clear ink. Mine's a little bit loved. It's had one or two transferences of other colours on it, but it still does the job. So again, ink it up once. Pop that down onto your piece that you've prepared with the anti-static pad there. Literally transfer that ink across, nice pressure on there, and then I always, as a matter of habit, do them twice. It's just sort of what I've picked up.
There's worse habits to have, Jan.
There is, yeah. I could be doing some things twice that are maybe not so good for me.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, so literally, because you've got that platform, you know it's going to go straight over the top there. Give it a good press down, transfer that ink across. And again, as I say, there's not a lot for you guys to see there. So if you just bear with me, I'm going to take that one off. And then I've brought just a piece in to catch. And I'm just going to pop the white embossing. So fine detail powder over the top there. And then just tap off the excess there. So you want to get rid of anything that's not actually stuck, but don't tap it so hard that all the powder comes off. Now you can just see,
you can just make that out, yeah.
That ghost image
I can see that there.
Yeah. And again, at the moment, it's quite sort of, I would almost say like quite opaque. Whereas once we heat it up, you're going to get that lovely glassy sheen to it. So just with a dry brush, I'm just making sure, even though it's white, I just want to make sure there's no sort of stray bits lurking around where I don't want them. And then we're going to heat that up with the heat tool. So we'll pop the embossing powder back in there out of the way, otherwise we don't want a big blob of heated embossing powder, and put the lid on it so that it don't have an accident. And then again, that top tip, get that heat tool warmed up. So let me bring that out of the way, bring it up to temperature. And the hotter it is, the quicker it will start melting. Whereas if you've got this held over your cardstock while you're waiting for it to heat up, it's going to start playing with the card. It's going to overheat the embossing powder. And if you heat embossing powder too much, it sinks back into your card, so there's no sort of texture on it. So once this is up to temperature, I'm going to heat this from behind here this time so that you guys, hopefully, if I can get that, there we go. And let's just see, I'm going to start here. And you should see it go from that sort of more powdery to a white.
Is it switched on?
It is switched
okay,
on,
just checking.
guys. Just checking. So just in that corner now, it's starting to go glossy. And again, once it's turned, move on to the next part. Can you see that there? Charlotte's got it on camera, look, bless her. Fantastic. Just chase it round, and as soon as it's melted, move on to the next part. All right. Don't be tempted to think, oh, I'll give it an extra blast. because as I say, eventually it will actually sink back into your cardstock. So once I've got to the top,
Oh,
that's
it's
it
like
done.
magic, Jan.
I love it. I never get old, never get sort of bored of this. It's something that I've done right from very first starting out, and I still love it to this day. So you can just see, again, very, very sort of ghost image on there. White on white, it's not going to show up very well. Just give it a couple of seconds to dry, and then I'm going to buff it across. And then what I've done this time is I've flicked to my water reactive inks, and I've taken all 3 of the green. All right, I think we've actually got these on the show, and I've got my applicator at the ready. And what we're going to do is we're going to ink the piece of cardstock, but the embossing powder will resist the ink. Because the ink's water-based, it's going to resist it. So even though you might think it stains it, when we finish, we'll give it a rub over, and that beautiful white embossing will actually show. So now that's cooled down a little bit, we're just going to take any excess of that anti-static off there. And I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to start with the Spring Meadow, which is the lightest one of the ink. So load up your applicator with the ink. Just double check that we're good to go. And then I'm going to start from the top and bring this lighter coloured one right over the embossing. You can see it a bit better now. It's sort of starting to emerge now. And I'm going to come about 1/3 of the way down with that one. Okay. And it's a little bit darker actually than it should be, because my ink applicator's got a lot of ink on it. So again, to the middle one, which is your grasshopper, I'm going to come a little bit further down. So you can see that's actually just a bit darker in tone there. So again, right over the top of the, don't be afraid to go over the top of the embossing. You might think, oh, it does look as if it's staining it, Jan, but just give us a second until we get to the end. And then the last one, the pine tree, is the darkest of that family of greens. So I'm going to turn it round and come from the bottom, and then just hold this top piece with my cloth so that it doesn't...
Don't forget the ribbon.
Don't forget the ribbon at the end, thank you. If I put my fingers on here now at the end, it's going to leave a nice finger splint.
Investigation, won't it?
Yep, so I'm just going to hold it here and bring that darkest one up to meet from the bottom. And then if you've got any lines, if you're not happy with where it's blended, in the middles there where you've got the 3 shades, just work your way back up your colours. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the middle one and just bring it over where those 2 meet. And then again at the top there, I've got a few little sort of lines in it here, so just to blend that out, go back to your lightest one and just overlap in the middle. You'll get that seamless blend across there with those 3 colours.
Beautiful.
You can do that with your pigment inks as well. All right, it will work with your pigment inks. You could get away with it with your quick dry ones, but obviously they're meant to dry straight away, so they're not as easy to blend. Okay, and then when that's finished, I'm literally going to go right over the top now of where that embossing is. Take any of the staining off from the green ink, and that white will emerge beautifully from underneath there. And you can just see how that pops out now with that lovely water reactive ink. And because it's water reactive, if I bring my pot back up, and I actually want a smaller brush than that one, we can do our little, I love doing the water splats on it. So again, just a wet brush. Okay, I may as well use it now. I've stuck my paintbrush in there rather than drinking that bit. I have got some more water, so those can go in there. And the longer you leave this now wet, the better the result will be. It needs time for the water to push that ink about, and you can see it actually working already here. You can see how it's moving the ink and pushing it to one side. So the longer you leave that, the better result you will get. But for the purposes of our TV, we'll just give it a blot with some kitchen paper, and you get that gorgeous sort of, I got a bit heavy with the splats there, but you can see the effect. Okay, so what I've done with that, again, just did exactly the same, and I've matted and layered that onto some green cardstock. All right, so exactly the same. This one's a wee bit darker. I think I've got build-up of ink on my actual applicator, and I've been better off using a clean one, I think. You can actually see the gradient of the 3 different greens there a wee bit better. And again, just keeping it nice and simple. So this is the ribbon bit, guys. We're going to pop the ribbon across the bottom there. So I'm just going to use a little bit of red line tape right across the bottom. Just eyeball that to get that in line. And then if we pop that bit round the back, we can secure that ribbon in place there. Okay. So all I'm going to do then is pop this in the middle. Don't want to stick it to my mats. There we go. Just to give a little bit of an accent at the bottom, and I've popped a couple of little gold gems up at the top there, and then that can fold round the back. And then I'm just going to stick that onto, just using my Centura pearl with a hint of gold in there, and keep this nice and simple. So this would be a great one to do if you were wanting to batch make for Christmas. So just using the tape pen there, and again, if you wanted to add it on foam, if you wanted to lift this up, if it were, you know, one that you was hand delivering, then you can actually put some foam underneath it. However you want to stick it together. I'm going to keep mine flat today just for ease. Okay, and then just left a nice border and kept that just as simple as it is there. Okay, so nice tall skinny one. We'll move all the bits out of the way. We'll give it a turn round, and our Charlotte will show you there from the front. Okay,
Love that.
so nice traditional sort of green for Christmas, and may your days be merry and bright.
Amazing.
Okay?
Over a third gone now. Someone's asking how tall these are, Jan. These misters. You've got it to hand over there.
The stamps?
I'd probably say it's the actual mister bottle.
Oh,
I'd
the
say it's
mister
about
bottles.
5 inches maybe.
Let's have a little look.
We'll have a little look.
They
And
are
someone's
6 inch.
6 inches.
6 inches by just under 1.5.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, in fact.
Anyway, right.
And
so
there's 50 mils in them. Yep.
excellent. Because someone was asking what size buddy bag they fit into, and who else was? Kathleen was asking how tall they are. So about 6 inches. Right, I'm going to run you back through those stamps in a minute, but before we do that, I'm going to show you how you can watch and shop at the same time. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home, where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easy to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Let me take you back through now those stamps now that I've composed myself. Right, let me take you back through the different brand new launches we've got. It's Jan's fault. All Jan's fault if anyone asks.
That's the question.
Holly, I did quite a lot of running at the weekend, and every time I laugh, no, it's not, where are we now? Yeah, it's still the weekend, in the run up to the weekend. Every time I laugh, like, I'm in quite a lot of pain here.
Oh.
So I laugh and I'm like, ha ha, oh, ha ha, oh. Right, these new stamps, Holly Jolly Christmas is what we are looking at just here. You're going to get all 8 of them for that price, which is incredible. We've then got most wonderful time of the year. This one here, of course, is Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It was the night before Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas, which is that one there. 'Tis the season to be jolly is that one. And then we've also got Season's Greetings. Now, this is a Crafters TV exclusive, this one. So if you want to get that full set, you'll need to grab it from here. And also then you've got May Your Day Be Merry and Bright. Someone was also asking about the Misters, what buddy bag they will fit into. Is there a buddy bag they will fit into? It is, and I can see said buddy bag in my head. It is the one that's got the 2 flaps on it, so you can have it higher or lower. Can't remember which one it is, Johnny, can you? I want to say, it's not Eileen, is it?
I can never remember all the names of them.
It's the one that's got the 2 flaps on the front. I'm going to have a little look. I'll have a little look on our website and I'll let you know. Is it Irene? It is not Eileen. Irene. Yeah, I think they'd go in Irene, don't you? Excellent. Right, loads more to share with you. Jan, save me, please.
Save you, honestly. If you guys could hear what's going off in my ear, honestly. Honestly. Right, so, calm. Right, we're going to go back to the Misters.
Are we? Do you think that's a good idea?
Those 6-inch Misters, Joe, yes.
Lovely.
I'm actually going to do a little bit of spraying and then we're going to utilise that in the card. So I need the heat tool again, guys. Yay.
Wonderful.
Make sure it's dry. Then we're going to stamp over the top and we're going to do some clear embossing over black ink this time. So I've popped a little bit of paper towel down just to try and save the mat. Always give these a shake to get everything mixed in there. Okay, and we've got the rosewood pink, of course. It had to be the pink one, didn't it? All right, so again, check that nozzle, make sure it's facing the card, and I'm literally just going to gently build this colour up on here. All right, now if you want to work on a bigger piece of card, you can see there is some overspray here. So if you don't want to actually waste the ink, then get a piece of card underneath it to catch some of that spray. But I want this quite deep in colour. Okay, and then I'm going to use my wet wipe just to take some of those blotches out of it so that we've not got too much wet ink going on there. And it is a gorgeous, sort of what I call an antique pink, this one. It's lovely. I'm a big lover of pink to start with, so this was definitely a nice one for the collection there. And then you can see if you've got any areas that are not quite as filled in, you can just go back in with it and build it up. So however much you want, there's no sort of hard and fast rule with it. And then I'm going to make sure that's dry because we're going to over stamp over the top of it. So just pop that to one side, pop my lid back on there. All right, my old ones, I used to have to make sure I'd cleaned all the nozzle and made sure there was nothing stuck in it. These are brilliant, time after time.
It says on these we can spray them from any angle as well, Jen. So yes. You can even hold them like upside down or on the side.
Literally,
and it works from every angle.
Wherever it is.
How
and
amazing.
If you've got a spray box, then that would be ideal to contain that sort of spray rather than it going everywhere.
We needed Brenda, but we don't know where she is.
I don't know. She's hiding.
She's on her holidays, apparently.
All right. So again, I'm just going to make sure this is totally dry because I actually want to stamp and emboss over the top of it now. So literally, pop that heat tool on there.
Someone was asking her about what brand this is, what brand this heat tool is.
My heat tool is, it says Heat Buddy Craft Tool.
Right.
It's not the Ranger Do one, very similar to this.
Right.
It's black. I've had this absolutely years from when I very first started crafting. It's over 20 years old.
Did it work when you first had it?
It did work when I first had it, Joe, yes. Now I just wave it about for the fun of it. Yeah. Just to give everybody a laugh. It's become a standing joke now. When I've got producer Johnny on, I can't not bring it, whether I need to use it or not.
Right,
I just have to show it him and it makes him laugh now. But yeah, just heat it until that's perfectly dry. We don't want any wet ink left on there. And then, where it does actually curl the card, if you just manipulate it back into place, because that cardstock doesn't have that memory to stay curled up, it will go flat again. So what we're going to do then is pop that piece straight into our stamping platform. So we've just popped that on there with the magnets, and then we're going to do the stamping. So you can see pretty much, you know, what we've done has been very similar all the way throughout the show, but just by incorporating different colours, different colouring mediums, adding the heat embossing, you can get some different effects. So again, I really want to make sure now that this is completely dry. So the actual anti-static pad helps with that as well. Doesn't actually bring any colour off it, but it will make sure that my ink is totally dry, ready to receive that clear sticky ink. So that's that one done. I'm saying clear sticky ink, I'm going to stamp in black this time, and I'm going to use clear embossing powder over the top this time to actually, I always do this, I very rarely put black embossing powder on. Okay. Black I find is the least forgiving with embossing powders. Like I was saying earlier about the little speckles going everywhere, the black one, it's not easy to not see them. Obviously the one I've just done in the white, they're not as obvious, but with black, so I tend to go for black ink and then put a clear embossing powder.
Okey-doke.
So the one we've chosen this time then is, oh by golly, have a jolly,
I thought there was
Christmas.
something wrong there. I thought you'd...
No, oh by
golly.
I love it. Have a holly jolly Christmas. So that one's going to go right in the centre like so. And then I've got two different inks on the go here. Again, because I want that really nice black sort of glossy finish on here, I'm going to start with a basic black ink. So I'm going to take the finesse one. Again, it doesn't matter whether it's alcohol or waterproof. I just want this for the strength of the black. The opaque black, I know this sounds silly, but it isn't as black. It's
right.
Not as dark, as solid as this. So what I'm going to do is 2 layers of this one to build up the black ink. So first layer going down in the centre. And this is why, I know I'm always harping on about the magnetic stamping platform, but it is worth every penny in my opinion, because this is where you can get that overstamping and know that it's actually perfect. So we've got that going on
the
there.
website, that platform.
But it's not as dark as I would like it. So again, I'm just going to pop a second coat with that dark black. And then I'm going to go over it with a third time with the opaque black, which is sticky. So that one stays what we call open longer. It stays wet longer so that you can actually attract that embossing powder. So again, pop that one down. I just need to bring back my piece to collect the embossing powder. I've got that at the ready.
Beth's made a great point. She says, I think these would also look nice on the inside of cards as well.
Absolutely, yeah. You could actually, if you've got some Christmas tree embellishments, you could actually decorate the outside or any Christmas sort of imagery and then pop this as your greeting.
Absolutely.
Would look stunning. Yeah, lovely idea. So now I've changed to my opaque black one because this one stays sticky for longer. All right, so I'm just going to do a third layer in that opaque black, and that's the layer then that's going to attract that embossing powder. So again, pop that one down. Nice good press to let that ink transfer onto your project. Just a bit of pressure in the middle there, make sure we've got it all covered. And then I'm going to take that off, move the magnets, and then we're just going to pop the clear right over the top of there now. Okay, so again, once we get rid of the excess, it sort of goes like a grey colour. You can see it's like taking the black away. But once this has been heated, it's actually going to show that black through again. So we'll get that lovely glossy finish on it, which I think is nice at any time of year, but particularly at Christmas, I think the heat embossing looks lovely. So move that one out of the way again. Get the heat tool up to, it's had plenty of use today, hasn't it?
It really has.
All right, get it up to temperature again. And once it's hot, we're going to melt that clear and allow that black ink to show back through there again. And this time we're going to pop this in the back of a diorama card this time, just to show you a different design. So again, I'm going to heat this from underneath the cardstock so you can see it, because I never get tired of watching this. Start down at the bottom here. Aim the heat tool behind here.
You can really see it go when it's
and yeah,
clear
when it's a
embossing,
darker colour like this with the clear on, you'll watch the black starting to come through here now.
Oh wow.
It's just like magic. It never gets old, Joe. I could sit and do this all day long. And once it's turned and it's gone glossy, then move on to the next part of your stamp. Don't hover over it once it's actually turned there. And then I'm just going to flick it round to save my fingers there, and then pop it back through and just keep going. Chase it round, make sure that all that sort of grey powder there has turned to that lovely glossy black, and you've got that great finish on it.
How
and I just
amazing.
think once you've got that in the light again there, you've got that lovely finish where it's going to pick up that sheen on it there, look. And I just think it looks lovely. It's just a really nice finish on the design. So, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas, all right? So again, I've done that at home. I did exactly the same. I've got a little bit more space where I've spritzed. You can just see this one's a bit more dense colour.
I think I like the one you've just done, you know.
Do you? Shall we use that one?
I think so, I like it.
All I've done then is I've taken again one of the alcohol pens, because we've got that lovely sort of lettering there. I'm just going to take the mid-tone in the pink there, and just in that gap, there's only a little tiny gap, but just to bring out that lettering in the middle there, because once it's embossed, you can use any of your pens in there, whether it be the metallic pens, whether it be you could probably even get away with the paint markers in there, just to add that little bit. So again, you've got either of those. All right, I think this one's a little bit crisper. I think I'm going to stick with this one, because that one I've been a bit heavy-handed with the stamp press there. I think that one's a bit crisper. So what we're going to do then is pop that into the back of my easel card. It's not an easel card, Jan, it's a diorama card.
What is it, Jan? Oh, it's a diorama.
It's a diorama. So I've just cut myself some craft card. It wouldn't be a Jan show without any craft card, would it?
No.
We're at 9 inches by 7 3/4. And again, that was decided by the size of this piece. This is going to stick in the back. And then I've scored it at 1.5 inches and 2 inches on each side. So we're going to stick that piece in the centre back there. And again, you know, any of you guys, if you're new to crafting, if it's your first time watching us here on CTV, then hi, welcome to the family. But if you're new to crafting, then, you know, this is literally just stamping. I've shown you as many different techniques I can in the 2 hours that we've got for the show. But, you know, if you just want to get your quick dry inks out and stamp these out, they're still going to look absolutely fantastic. The one that I didn't get done that I thought would look really, really elegant is just plain white, possibly on a gold mat, and then just this stamped out in gold embossing powder. I thought would look really nice, but as I say, I ran out of time for prep. So I've done exactly the same with the front part then, but I've actually used one of my nesting dies to cut an aperture in there. And then I've used my alcohol pen just to colour this in so that I got a nice match with the background there. And I've got the same distance on the edges. And then I had another piece of this that I'd been practicing with that I've just chopped up to make some pieces for the edge there. So we're literally going to pop those down each side just to finish. And then I've got a very old set for some decoration on this one. And it's one that, again, that I go to a lot. And it came from our Sarah signature. Was it a Winter's Tale? I'm trying to think which set it's from. The one with the pine cones in. I think it was a Winter's Tale. It was a couple of years ago. In fact, probably a bit longer than that. But I just love those pine cones. And with this one, in the stamp, you've got the little pine cones in the detail on the stamp.
Oh, nice.
So I just thought it was a nice way to embellish this and just link it all together. So we'll pop the card together. I just need some adhesive down the back of those panels now, and we'll use the tape runner. If you prefer your double-sided tape, absolutely fine. If you want to pop a wet glue in there, I'd go for the all-purpose, and that'll set really nicely in the back of there. Now then, it's been silly because I've got gems on the other side of there. There we go. Have we done? Please, oh, do you know, how many times have I been here now where the tape pens have run out?
But I bet that doesn't happen to you at home. They save
Honestly,
themselves until you get in.
They're just literally, and I always bring a spare one just in case. But yeah, the number of times, and this is how I get through them. With all the prep and everything, I get through them like nothing on earth. And then all we're going to do literally is line up those outside panels there and just make sure that those edges meet. And then with the tape pen, just give it a nice press with your fingers there, just to activate that adhesive. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other end. And I've just left a half an inch, I think it was, in the gap, so that we've actually got an inch diorama in total. So I've got 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch at this side on back and front, which means that when we actually fold this into place now, you've got that lovely sort of, you can see that detail in the middle there. All right, so that's my base card. We'll just secure those, because it's being laid flat in my bag, just secure those folds in there again. Just teach it where you want it to go, and the same at the back. And then I'm just going to pop those few decorations on just to embellish. And again, that could be absolutely anything that you've got in your stash there. I just happen to like this particular set, so I'm going to bring the glue gun back there, and I've got a couple of little pine cones which I'm going to pop. In fact, I'll pop the greenery on first. We've got some little, these are all from that same set. So again, a little bit of glue on there, and we've got a couple of the longer pieces there. Couple of the shorter ones.
That was those nesting dies, they're the fancy stitched edge, aren't they?
Yes, this was the fancy stitched rectangle
That's
on this
Alison
one.
was asking that, fancy stitched rectangle.
Yeah,
Alison.
I've got, again, those are in that box that I go to all the time. I use them quite a lot. And then I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of glue under the back of these to pop these in place as well. Whoops. And the same on the little one. And then I've just used, because I was using craft card, I've just used a little bit of twine to keep it all sort of in the same kind of effect, just to pop on the top as a little bow there. So again, just a bit of the glue on there. And again, you know, embellishment is a personal thing. You can do whatever you fancy on those, just to give them a little bit of embellishment on top. So again, that's where we've ended up with that stamp being the focal point, even though it's in the window there. And if I turn you that one round, you've got that diorama shape on that one.
Awesome. Another brilliant project there from Jan. Almost 40% gone now on these stamps. It is launch day today for these, and this is the only place you're going to be able to get this full set. Remember, you've got an exclusive set in here. Let me run you back through what you're getting included again. So you're going to receive, firstly, this one here, which is Holly Jolly Christmas, as you can see just here. Then what you've got is It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. You're also going to receive 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. You have yourself a merry little Christmas. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 is in there. You've got Season's Greeting.
Disappointed when they get their stamp and it doesn't do that when they open it, Joe,
they can
aren't
add. They'll have to add.
You have to add your own sound
Maybe
effects.
we could do. What are they? Remember those cards you used to get when you opened them? They had a thing inside.
Yes.
Maybe we could sell little like recordings, and it could be all our little sayings on.
Yes.
You could when you open the card.
We
it
could
be
have
like,
our Leanne with "It's ready."
Yeah,
couldn't we?
Shut the front door, shut the back door, lower the blinds, fire up the smoke machine, put on your heels, put the bins out, twiddle the doorknobs. That could come out when you do it. What would Ben's be? Foam on a roll?
Foam on a roll. Yeah, foam on a roll.
Debbie's could say, what am I like?
What am I like?
Oh, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? I think we should tell Leanne about that. Season's Greetings, by the way, is a Crafters TV exclusive. You'll only get that when you shop directly with us here at Crafters TV. And you've also got May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. Right, I want to give you another opportunity to check it out because it is getting busier and busier and busier there over on the website. Whilst we do that, why don't we share with you all the details of Club Inspire? Take a look.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Sorry, I was just organising me misters there. Right, I want to take you back through these because they are so exceptionally busy. Sorry, I'm just laughing at Charlotte in my ear. She was like, oh, great. Right. Let me take you back through these again as we go then. So this one just here, they are all very busy now at the moment. This one here is your purple spell. This one just here, as you can see. You do also have as well the option to go for the French lilac. So the purple spell, which is this one just here. Sorry, I think Charlotte was having a moment. Charlotte thought that we were looking at this particular shot just here when we weren't. We were looking at me. It was very awkward there for a second. It's almost like, have you ever been to the loo, Jan, and the person in the next cubicle is on the phone, or they answer their phone and they talk and you think they're talking to you? Has that ever happened to you? And they're like, have you never had it? It has happened to me once. Someone's gone, hello? And I've gone like, hello? And they're like, hang on a minute, the bloke next door in the loo's talking to me. It was a bit like, that was the TV equivalent of that, Charlotte. Anyway, let's go back to it, shall we? So, this one here is your purple spell. You've also got this one here, which is the French lilac. Then you've got the pine green, which is this one. A rose pink, which is that one just there. Or you can go for the honeybee. That's your favourite at the moment, actually. Or you can go for this one here, which is the water jet. Very busy. Oh, hello. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I know. I don't know what happened there. Water jet. Very busy across all of those. So do get them in your basket if you want them. And they are water-based. You can do all of those techniques. And remember, they've got that awesome nozzle on there, which is not going to get blocked up, which is fantastic. Right, Jan, I know you've still got loads you want to share. Where does the time go?
I know, I can't believe it's 4:30 already. It's like, it doesn't seem 2 minutes since. Right, we're going to have a look at the season's greetings this time. So I've actually got a bigger piece than what I need this time because I'm going to cut it down. So all the ones that we've done so far have actually been stamped onto sort of the main feature of the card. This time we're actually going to cut out the tree shape when we've got to that point. So our season's greetings, beautiful set of little snowflakes on there, and then you've got that banner in it again, which just lends itself to being coloured in. So again, I've done a little bit of prep work, but I just want to show you how I've arrived at that point. So I'm going to pop this in the middle, okay, and then literally pick that up with my platform. And then this time we're going to do it in some different coloured inks. So I've actually taken the three, well, I've got a mixture actually. I've got Oasis from the turquoise family and Parakeet from the turquoise. But I'm going to mix it with the ocean blue so that we've got a little bit of everything going on there. So we'll actually come through them Oasis, Parakeet and then ocean blue. So what I'm going to do then this time is start from the bottom and I'm literally going to ink up part of this with the blue. All right, so just that bottom part of the stamp. And then I'm going to bring in the next one and I'm going to tip the ink pad onto its side slightly because I don't want a full width of the ink pad. I just want to take some of that colour and take it up sort of another third up the stamp. So just by using the edge of it there, it's allowing me to be a bit more precise with the positioning. And then the top part, we're going to do the same again. And I'm just going to take the edge of that ink pad to fill in the top section there. All right, and then we're going to stamp that out once. And as always in Jan fashion, we're going to do a second one just to make sure that we've got that really nice strong colour going on. So again, nice bit of pressure on there to transfer it, but just have a look how it just blends nicely through those colours. So I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to take the blue to the bottom bit. I'm not too worried if it's not identical because all those colours work together anyway. They all play nicely together. And then that one onto its side just to add, and I've got a mixture here just because they're what I had with me. So I've got a couple of water reactives and one of the pigment inks. Again, it doesn't really matter. The quick dries would be perfect for this one. We're just actually going to stamp this one out to show you the stamp. And then if we over stamp on there, just to get everything in place and get that depth of colour going. Okay, nice bit of pressure on there, just to make sure it's all transferred. And then you've got that lovely sort of almost ombre greeting going on there.
Nice.
And again, I think that lends itself now to actually adding a little bit of...
They're so crisp, aren't they, these photopolymer
They
stamps?
are, and I think that's the beauty of having the photopolymer. You do get that really nice sort of crisp finish on them. Now then, I'm just looking for my... There we go. I just want the grey one. Just to add a bit of colour in the background again. And because all these are water-based inks, so your water reactive and your pigment inks are water-based inks, they're not going to move when I then add a little bit of colour into the background. So I just want to add some grey just so that that little banner stands out. So similar to what we did on that first one. Again, you can add, I think on the one I did at home I added some clear embossing powder again, but you've just seen me playing with the embossing quite a bit. We've done a lot of that already. Okay, just, and I'm not going to do the whole thing here, you get the idea. I've got one that I've done earlier. So again, just to bring all the grey, just stands out. You know, you could use the turquoise if you want to keep it monochrome and add the same colour to the banner. But I just wanted this to sort of allow those blues to stand out nicely. So again, just straight onto the cardstock there. Probably would be better with a piece of card underneath there. I've actually gone straight onto my stamping platform, but you get the idea with that now. But I love the way that the bottom part of this has picked up the ocean blue and then the top part's picked up the parakeet. So you're getting that gradient of colour. But if I actually just bring this round a little bit and then I'll show you the one that I did with the heat embossing. And then what I've done is just taken my ruler, which I think, oh, it's not down there. Okay, grab a pencil and we'll use the cardstock. Basically, just decide how big you want your piece there. And I'm literally going to mark that top section and we're going to pop this one into a triangle shape so that it actually looks a bit more like a tree.
Awesome.
So just decide how you want to cut it and pop yourself a little pencil line in. And then I normally cut inside the pencil line there so that it cuts it away and then you don't have to worry about actually rubbing anything out. So if we take that one off there, grab my larger scissors, and then where I've got the pencil line, I'm literally going to cut to this side of it, and then I don't have to worry about cutting any of those lines out. And we're actually going to
do this with a guillotine if you weren't very comfortable?
You could
with
use your
scissors?
guillotine, absolutely, yeah. You could just line those edges up with your guillotine. All right, I've done so much cutting out over my years, what with crafting and then working in school, that I am fairly accurate with my scissors. But yeah, if you prefer to do it in your guillotine, it would work just the same, just to get those angles off there. And literally make yourself like a Christmas tree shape this time. So rather than keeping it in a square or a rectangle like we've done with some of the others, we actually adding to the illusion now that it is actually a Christmas tree. So I've done just that, little bit more shading on the stamp there. All right, you can just see that greetings where I've added a bit of grey. This one was quite pale. I've added some of the darker shades in here. And then I've just chosen some turquoise from our textured pads just to matte and layer onto. So we're actually going to pop this one on the back with my newfound tape pen that's got plenty of tape left in it. Okay. Matte and layer onto this one, so I've just left a tiny border all the way around. Just get that in place. Let me try the top piece. That'll be easier to line it up that way. There we go. And just pop that one. That wasn't very straight, was it? Let's just give that one a trim there. And then you've got that lovely sort of, giving the illusion that you've actually got a Christmas tree going on there as well. And then this time I've actually made, we're going to make a twisted easel this time. So again, I've just scored my card, 5.5 inches square, scored it diagonally, and I've just made some mats and layers again. And I think this one was Santa's Kitchen, if I remember rightly. I had that pad out the other day when I was using it, and that's a really nice one for the Christmas images as well. Oops.
Oh, Jan, I thought you had another one then as well.
No, there's plenty left in there. So we're going to pop a square one in the bottom there. Okay. And then I've actually got some for the outside as well that I've done. So again, I've done another square and just cut it in half so that we can separate that one on each side. So again, pop in this one onto the back there. And we're just going to adhere those in place. So again, I've got one for this side and one for the back there, just to make sure it's all finished off nicely. And then we're going to use that tree as the feature on the front of it there. So that one's going to go on the back. And then we need something to form a stopper at the front here. So again, I've been out with those little snowflake dies, and I've cut a couple of them just to create some depth. So I'm going to grab my dotty tape pen for this one instead, and I'm just going to layer these together. So I want a little bit of that dots. This is perfect for any of your die cuts. And we're just going to layer those together just to make them a bit more substantial. Because I want it to be a stopper, I actually want them to be a little bit thicker. So again, pop that one together, and then I've got the next size down. We're going to do the same with that one. So a little bit of dots, just gently on the back there. Did I miss one there? And line those up again. Because the die cut, you know that they're going to fit on top of each other, just to give it, as I say, a little bit of dimension there. Whoops. Try and stick it to itself and not to me.
A lot of people talking about using these stamps with other things. Gnomes being, the gnomes collection being one of them.
Oh, I've got those coming up later.
If you want to see the gnomes, it's probably your last chance in Second Chance Sunday. They're going gnome apparently.
They're going gnome.
They are.
Oh, there's going to be no end of jokes later, is there?
There's no need for it, really. Just got a win. I heard the through the wall then, not through the talk back. I heard Charlotte's eye roll then, did you?
Again, just popping those together so that we've got that dimension on them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop these at the bottom here so that we've got a bit of a stopper going on. So again, I'm just going to use my dots on the back of there again, just gently, and pop these down so that we can actually stop the card there from sliding. So I'm going to put one there. And then I'm going to build this one up on a little foam pad. We'll be daring. I've not used any today, have I? We'll be daring. Let's have a little piece of foam pad. Just to snip a piece out of there and raise that up a little bit. Because it's going to be a stopper, I need to know that that bit's actually going to do its trick. So we'll pop that one in the centre of there. And I'm just going to rotate that slightly on there, and then I've got some gems just to cover up the gap there. So I just want to take one of those off and pop that in the middle there, just to cover up. Whoops. Take the acetate off there. There we go, and pop that in the centre. And then the little tiny one we're going to pop alongside it, just so that there's a bit of detail on that bottom section. Again, you know, embellish as much or as little as you would like to do. So that one's going to go alongside it. We've got that one to do the trick now. We're going to pop another one alongside it with another one of those little gems just on the corner there. If I could get them off the acetate would be good. There we go. And then I'm going to pop that tree that we made. Actually, if I turn it round so that you can see it now, I'm going to stick this one on here so that we've got sort of an angle going on.
Nice,
so
I
we've
like
got
it.
the point from the card and the point from the tree. So I just want to put my tape runner on that bottom section here. And then I'm going to line this one up with the base of the card so that we've got it running straight at the bottom there, and actually pop that one in to make the stopper. I might add a couple more gems on there, but essentially you can see the idea with it, and that's Season's Greetings on that one.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Shall we do our vote for card of the show, Jan?
We
Shall I give you a
can.
second to get ready for that?
Yep.
Lots of you chatting away still. Beth says, Joe, you are so fun. Thanks, Beth. Barbara says, beautiful, Jan, talking about that last card. Colleen, our social media super, says, Joe, you're on fire today. She put laughing faces and fire emojis. Thanks, Colleen. Diana says, I've got it ordered. Well done. Aish says, excited to get my gnomes and see these stamps. Absolutely. They will work brilliantly together. Alison loves these as well. There's a lot of love for them. I think the value for money on them is incredible, considering you're getting 8 brand new photopolymer stamps. Now, there's loads of different ways you're going to use them. There's loads of different ways for you to get hold of them as well. If you want to get hold of them individually, absolutely, you're more than welcome to. They're, well, practically £5 or $7 each. Any 2 of these, though, for £8 or $12. So it definitely would go for them in pairs, if not going for the whole collection. When you go for the whole bundle, it's how you get the best value for money, of course. A brilliant saving for you here as well, which is excellent, saving 25%. Platinum, how much of the stock's gone, Johnny? 40% of a brand new launch has gone. That is massive, considering this is the launch show. We'd hope to have these in stock for weeks and weeks to come after this. $23.95 or $33.36 for Platinum members is brilliant. And you're getting, remember, 8 brand new styles in here. Let me just share with you a couple of the different things that you can do with these. There you can see all of those different designs you're getting, which is awesome. But the great thing is about it ranges from very, very simple cards through to card concepts, maybe using them for the inside of your card, for your verses as well. If you're batch making, you're going to love them. I love this one just here. This is by, who's done this one? Lisa Taylor, who's done like an offset stamping technique on that. I think it's absolutely incredible. Something you're definitely going to be able to get in and you know, find out you have a stash. Maybe your Christmas papers that you've got from previous years. Maybe you're going to reinvigorate some of your previous Christmas stash like Jan has, bringing in lots of the past signature collections into these. Definitely a great way to incorporate something new and sometimes revitalise something you've had in your stash for a little while. Let me take you back through all 8 of these that you're getting in here. They are all brand new today for you as well. So you've got, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas. This one here is, it's the most wonderful time of the year. You then have Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. 'Twas the night before Christmas. This one here says, have yourself a merry little Christmas. Then we've got, 'tis the season to be jolly. Then Season's Greetings as well. Now, hang on, did I do that one? Yeah. Which one is exclusive? Oh, I've taken it out, haven't I? Oh, I left one over there, that's why, Johnny. So Season's Greetings is your exclusive one. You will not be able to get that anywhere else other than with us directly here at Crafters Companion. And then you've also got this one here, which is Merry and Bright. May your days be merry and bright, which is awesome. Do grab them, they are incredible value. Right, let's have a little look at that demo of the show then, Jan, if we may.
Right, so top of the show then, we started out nice and simple with that inked background and just stamping in black stamping ink on that one. So that was number 1, embellished with the snowflakes there. Then we took it a stage further on the ink background and added that lovely silver embossing powder. 'Twas the night before Christmas, so that's number 2. Then we did the resist technique where we used the white embossing powder and then add the water reactive inks over the top. So that was number 3, nice tall skinny one. Number 4, we used those beautiful ink misters and that was the pink, I forget it already, rose.
It was the...
Rosewood pink, thank you, Johnny.
Yep.
All right, and then made the diorama one there. You can just see that's got that. So that was number 4. Number 5 was the twisted easel that we've just done with the Season's Greetings there. So you can just see those snowflakes acting as a stopper All right, and you've got the twisted one there. So that was number 5. I have got one more left, but I haven't got a sample of it. So we'll go with those 5.
Okay, 1 to 5. Let us know. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. Let me just remind you again of that awesome deal we've got for you on the water reactive ink pads. As I was saying, we've had a restock on a lot of our ink pads, so it means we've got some of our hero colours back in stock, which is fantastic. So in this particular in this particular collection, you're going to get the Midnight.
I'm glad it's not only me.
Pine Tree, Spring Meadow, Grasshopper, Lemon Tonic, and Chinese Red. What did George call one of these yesterday? He called it Pale Pig instead of Pale Fig. Right, both of those. 1916 or 26.69 is your price there as a platinum member. Right, do you know what time to squeeze that last demo in then,
I'm going to try
Jan?
my best because this one's using our metallic, our Midas ink pads, which we've also got
I know you were so
selection,
excited for this demonstration.
on the show, and I love these. Again, lots of different things that you could do with them. We had the pens on the show last night, and then we've got the ink pads today, which they all marry up and play nicely together. So I've chosen 3 different colours here. I've got blush, amethyst, and bronze there. And again, I'm going to do that sort of triple layer, similar to what we've just done with the ordinary inks, but this time we're going to use the metallics. And the metallics show up nicely on black cardstock. So I've got my stamp on here, and this time I've chosen, it's the most wonderful time of the year. So again, I'm going to start from the bottom with the bronze, and I'm going to ink this one up in those 3 sections again, like we did before. So bronze at the bottom there. And these are really juicy as well. Then we're going to go with the amethyst, and that trick of just tipping it onto its side means that you don't get too much coverage where you don't, because I only want a small section. If I put my whole ink pad down, I'm going to get the width of the ink pad. So just by tipping it on its edge there, you can have a little bit more control. And then I've got the blush one, which we're going to pop at the top. Now there was a little bit of staining on my stamp from these, and that's purely because of the pigment in there, but it doesn't damage your stamps. It may add a bit of a tint to them with the colour, but it doesn't damage them. And then just very, very lightly, I've got my water spritzer here, just ordinary water in there, and I'm just going to lightly spritz it, not too much, but just so that those inks can transfer nicely onto that black paper. So again, give it time for that ink to transfer. And if you need to do it a second time, you can ink it up again. It's a little bit patchy in the middle, so let's just go again. So we've got bronze at the bottom, just to double check those colours. Then we've got the amethyst in the centre there. And then I was trying to think of different ideas to do with these for you. So this last one's a bit different again. So again, just that last little bit, slight, it doesn't need a lot of water on, just a very light misting. And then pop that one down on the top there. Oh dear, what happened? I have no idea.
I thought the studio was coming down there for a second. It was
just run past and knocked all my cards down.
Oh dear.
Good job it's the end of the show, isn't it?
The
I never
display
touched
next to Jan has just all fallen over.
Yeah, never touched them. So you can see we've got that lovely metallic effect going on there with it. And then what I did, and I bet you've got, I'd love to know who's got some of these in their stash at home. I brought them with me. I've got a pair of what's, it's called a decal edge. We've got those fancy scissors, and I just thought, with it being a tree, I'm going to go freehand this time, because I've got one that I've already done. But it just gave it that sort of jimpy edge, which, you know, if it was a tree, it's going to have that sort of little bit of an edge on it. So just using those this time to cut out the shape just adds a little bit of interest. And again, I want that tree shape there. Just taking that out with those scissors. And I bet you there's loads of you got. If you pinking shears would do the trick as well if you've got those in your stash. Just to give it an extra sort of element. And then you can either leave it as the triangle. I actually took the top off it. I wasn't sure whether I liked it when I'd done the top. But just to get that piece there that we're going to work with. And again, when you get this under the light, It's got a lovely sheen to it with that metallic ink there. So again, I did exactly that at home. And I've got a base layer that I've prepped to actually do some matting and layering. Again, I think it was that same paper pad. I think it was Santa's Kitchen again. We're going to pop that one on. It's got my signature doodling around the edge there with the pen, which you've seen me do on many occasions. All right, so again, just to mat and layer this up. And then what I thought was, it needs some company. We can't just have that one tree on the back of there, so it needed some company. I've made some just plain ones that I've cut out of scraps of mirror card that I had lying around. So we're going to have this one as a focal point here. Okay, I don't think that one's bad actually. That's the one I did at home.
Nice.
Not so different, is it? I think there's a little bit more depth on that one. And then I thought, right, we'll make some trees to go with it. So because we'd used the purple ink, I've done a purple one. It looks a wee bit black there, but if we get it in the light,
oh yeah, I can see
that
that
lovely purple mirror card there. And then I've picked out the bronze ink and done one again in a little bit of bronze mirror card. And these are all scraps out of my stash. And then I went to gold glitter card. I thought nothing's complete without a bit of glitter at Christmas.
Oh,
so we're just going to line these up like this. So I'm just going to stick those down. And I have got a piece of ribbon again, and I forgot to stick it on, guys.
Oh,
I'm just after, I didn't tell you, did I? I'm going to have to go edge to edge again. So let's just pop these down on the back there. So literally just got to stick it together, and then I'm all done over this side. So we're going to pop one of those in the background, and then we'll pop this one just to the edge of it. So a little bit lower down. Okay, and then we've got the glitter one at the other side. And then I was literally going to pop my piece of ribbon through these guys. So we'll just go edge to edge here. Okay. And snip that there. And then we can pop the ribbon over there. Ideally, it's better when you wrap the ribbon around the back of the card, but again, I got a bit giddy. And I know we're nearing the end of the show, so we'll just stick that one onto there. Stick it down, and then I'll snip it straight on the edge there to match the black layer. And then we're going to pop this one, and I think we'll risk, at the 11th hour, shall I risk some foam pads?
Oh, well, we've got 3.5 minutes on the show, so I think we'll be all right.
Right, well, not put many on.
Aisha says picked up the ink bundle because I'll only duplicate one ink pad. It'll be a green one. I can give that one. She says also my 8x8 stamping platform is in my order. Maybe we do an 8.8 stamping platform. I'm going to be so impatient about getting those last 2 orders. Well, hopefully they'll get to you speedy quick, Aisha.
So that one's going to be the focal point on there. And then I've just last little bit, I've got a tiny little bit of glue, and I've just tied a knot rather than a bow on this one, just to finish it off. So clear all the bits out of the way there so that you can see what's going off. And as I say, we've got that one as our focal point on the front in those lovely metallic inks there. So the most wonderful time of year.
It really is the most wonderful time of year. Absolutely beautiful creation. Down the show is number 5, Jan.
Number 5.
The Twisted Easel.
Fantastic.
Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So that was this one that we did with the season's greetings. Okay,
amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Don't forget to check out your baskets. A really beautiful stamp collection. I'm going to run you back through exactly what you're going to get. Before I do that, though, I want to remind you what's coming up for the rest of the day and in tomorrow here on Crafters TV. Second Chance Sunday will be up for you. 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. East Coast. Do join us for that. It's going to be a very interesting show, is all I'm going to say. The Euro finals start halfway through the show. So I don't know what we're going to do, Jan. I don't know where attention's going to be.
I've got a feeling that you're all just going to leave me here demoing while you lot go and sit and watch.
I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's going to happen. Tomorrow, though, wake up call back here with Craig. That'll be fun. Midday in the UK, 7 a.m. East Coast time. We've got a launch day coming up later tomorrow as well, which will be myself and Sarah. So we'll be looking ahead to that, giving you some idea of the wonderful things that you're going to be able to create with that. It's a dimensional scene dies. You know it's going to be a big one when Sarah has pulled rank and
Yep.
has brought herself in for it. So that'll be fun. I want to just go through and share with you what you're going to get in this particular collection. So you've got in here Holly, oh golly.
Oh, golly.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. I nearly said oh golly then. I came very close to saying something I shouldn't, Jan. I just picked up on that. Most wonderful time of the year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. 'Twas the night before Christmas. We've then got Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. 'Tis a season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Hello? Season's greetings. That's a CTV exclusive. Charlotte's very giddy today. What's going on? May your days be merry and bright. $29.94, $41.70, $23.95 or $33.36. Whew. Right, make sure you join myself and Jan for the last chance on those gnomes, don't forget. Make sure you check out your baskets as well. And we'll see you back here in 2 hours' time. Take care.